My name is Dr. Siti Maisarah Ahmad. I'm from Malaysia. I'm currently doing my attachment in Indira IVF in a subspecialty of fertility. So fertility in Malaysia has been established since many years ago. However, because of the cost which is very high in my home country, so the accessibility of the treatment is not widely available to the all population. In Malaysia, there are about 4 main government centre which facilitate a patient with fertility problem, and the patient are heavily subsidized by the government. However, because of the subsidy and the government cannot subsidize too many patients, so there's a limited number of patients who can access to the treatment. We have many fertility centre in the private setting which can cater to the patient who has access to the funds and funds to start the treatment. Recently, our government announced that the insurance company may subsidize part of the treatment of fertility. So in terms of awareness in my home country in Malaysia, I think they are quite aware of the available treatment. However, because of the cost which quite high in relation to the fertility treatment, that hampers the patient to come forward to seek treatment. I cannot give you the figure of how many fertility specialists available, but roughly in the government sector, more than 50 trained fertility specialists in our government sector. So for training purposes in fertility in government setting, we have they have a program where the fellowship has to go for 3 years training, whereby 2 years being done in Malaysia and 1 year is overseas. So for the private centre, usually they will attach themselves to the centre they're going to work, and they will be on hands training there. So basically it's like the training that I was given in Indira is totally different, where it's very structured, where they have the lectures, they have the hands-on, they have simulator for procedure which is common in fertility, such as ovum pickup, hysteroscope, and simulation on the ultrasound, which I found is very helpful and very useful in clinician who wants to start or continue or to enhance their expertise in the fertility setting. So male infertility in Malaysia is, as I said, a taboo subject for the males to discuss. So sometimes we have difficulty to have a husband to come forward with the wife to seek treatment. So in our centre, we make rules that if a patient is seeking for treatment, they must come together so that we can counsel both of them. Because sometimes in a society where female are being blamed for not being able to bore any child, and man is just being and women are being the scapegoat of the fertility problem. The issue of male fertility is sometimes a bit tricky to handle. Socially, this is very taboo subject. If the couple has a problem and the husband is the source of the problem and fertility, usually this not being discussed, but once they knew that the problem is from the husband, most of the husbands are willing to seek treatment, to follow up with the treatment, but we need to counsel them properly, otherwise they won't continue with the treatment plan. I'm currently doing my final year attachment. As part of my overseas training, I got the opportunity to be under the program Merck Fertility Training Program, funded by Merck Foundation, which were introduced by Professor Pundare, whom I met in Malaysia. So I think this program is excellent because it is very structured, whereby there is a part where we have clinical exposure, and also there is a structured lecture on each subject pertaining to the fertility treatment and fertility management. And I also find that the center in Indira IVF give a very comprehensive training whereby they have a simulator, they offer us a hands-on opportunity to treat the patient, and also we have the opportunity to discuss with the consultant regarding cases which are abundant in this center. The only setback is the language barrier. However, with time, we pick up the language and we can discuss with the consultant. I find it's very engaging and very fruitful training for me here. So as this training is very structured, what I can gather from the gist of the training program here, the three things that being emphasized, which I find would be very beneficial to when I go back, is the emphasis on ultrasound, the emphasis on the basic physiology of male and female infertility, and also the basic aim of getting a lot of oocyte to aim for aneuploidy embryo, which can explain why they have a very high success rate. And also I'm very grateful that here they teach the techniques on even simple things like embryo transfer, that ovum pickup, which is quite detailed, which I found it very helpful. So I hope I can incorporate this in when I come back to my home country. So once I go back, I think I need to do similar program to my other colleagues, which include the three things that I mentioned just now: the basic ultrasound, the basic physiology of fertility and infertility, and also the best treatment plan or ovulation induction plan to achieve a lot of mature oocyte. So with that, I think we can improve our success rate and improve our fertility center in my clinics. I would like to thank Merck Foundation, which allowed me to participate in this Merck Fertility Training program, which will be benefit in my practice. Hence, it will translate to a more success in my fertility patient.